Hey there, brothers and sisters. I just want to take a moment to talk about what I currently strongly feel is the final rabbit hole, if I can call it that, and the future of this channel, basically. Um, I know many people that follow me and this channel, that if you've come through the transitions I've been through in life, may also be someone who's very much a soul seeker or consider yourself a truth seeker. And with the current internet age, when we can get so much information and misinformation very quickly, there are so many rabbit holes in so many areas that you may have been down. I know I've been down very many, very many. Um, Dietary ones, veganism, raw veganism, fruitarianism, Arnold Ehret, all that stuff, all the way to carnivore, um, ketogenic diets, raw meat diets, all that from one end of the spectrum to the other, to fasting and everything in between. Tons of rabbit holes there. Historically, things, Egypt and Graham Hancock and those kind of teachings to the Mayans, to Tartaria and the mud floods and all that that kind of stuff as well. Conspiratorially, obviously, 9/11, moon landings, shape of the earth, COVID, all those, David Icke, Alex Jones, that, to all the spiritual rabbit holes, people like Seven Bomar, Alan Watts, Eckhart Tolle, Terence McKenna, to things like astral projection, near-death experiences, to the fitness industry, to GOTA, functional patterns, knees over toes, flowability, WEC method, all these different rabbit holes on the internet. And a lot of them, there is truth contained within many of them. And they're fun to explore. And I really am a person who strongly believes in experimentation in life, and that there's a natural desire, if it's not been injured in us, to want to experiment. And I think if there is a father above, parent wants us to experiment. I think it's part of the design here, that we're meant to do that. And so these rabbit holes, speed of the internet, you can go down them very, very fast intellectually, much faster than any time in history. But what it's led me to, because I'm someone who dives deep, I've pretty much been semi-retired from 18, had a lot of free time because I've been through the careers that you may have followed me, been through. I've had a lot of time to experiment and deep dive, and someone who, yeah, I don't really hold back. I just like to go full hog and have faith that the truth will reveal itself eventually. And I'm not afraid to open my heart to something and believe in it. And then, yeah, the truth reveals itself fully. And over time, and the quicker I seem to do that, the quicker you'll find the truth of it. And so then you could rush through something in like a year or something, or a few months or whatever it is. You can get through, whether it's a fitness practice or a diet or something like that. If you're really paying attention and honest with yourself, you can get through it. Now, of course, you can still, make mistakes and still learn and grow from it. But you start to get a sense for almost the flavor of truth, what truth feels like, what its presence has, what it's kind of delivered with, sort of things like that. And so on that journey of going down many rabbit holes, there's one that I've been in for studying and on and deep, trying to get deep into for about the past 5 years. And many of you may know that, follow the channel maybe more closely, that is divine truth. Now, I'm coming to see and think and feel that is potentially the final, if you could call it in a funny matrixy way, the final rabbit hole, the final one. More importantly, it's the most important rabbit hole that I feel anyone could go down right now, for yourself, for your family, for your future. And maybe there's a bit of manipulation trying to say do it for your family or anything like that. But ultimately, I strongly feel it's the most important rabbit hole any human on earth could do right now. It makes you look at yourself more deeply than anything. A lot of this other stuff is all like trying to find answers in others, trying to put responsibility onto others to solve things for you. giving you justifications to be angry at the world, justifications to be confused, and all sorts of things. It really encourages self-responsibility around everything in every aspect of your life, your health, your happiness, your spirituality, your emotional state, your relationships, everything. I've got some notes here. Yeah, and ultimately, potentially the awareness of a creator, which is, of many people who go down a lot of the other more conspiratorial rabbit holes, potentially come to the perspective that one of the great, whether it's conscientious or not, and I reckon it is, conspiracies, so to say, is that if there is a global elite or some sort of consensus amongst people in power, there are certainly collections of people who either don't want an awareness of God or are controlled by dark spirits who don't want the earth to have an awareness of a creator, of a God. And so this helps you really confront that and potentially start to see that and have a relationship with such a creator. We will see, but that's potentially a huge part of it, which is something I've been desiring from a deep human place of longing, not just some like idea. But who knows? The truth will reveal itself for sure in that one. And so I've been on that journey of studying divine truth, I've watched hundreds and hundreds of hours of the content on YouTube. I went out to Australia last year to meet with the teachers of divine truth who claim to be Jesus and Mary, which I know is going to be a huge trigger for some people. The truth is, I don't know for sure if they're Jesus and Mary, but if we focus on the truth, you don't know for sure 100% that they are not. And so if you are a truth seeker, or maybe that's just a label, but if you care about truth, park that and just allow yourself to listen to the teachings and trust that you're not just going to suddenly be swept up into something. Just listen to the words that are being said, and let them sit with you and ruminate on them and experiment with them. Let your mind be an airlock. I've said it before, mate. Your mind could be a sort of an airlock for your heart. Just because you hear something, it doesn't mean it's suddenly going to be some belief and you're going to go crazy or something like that. It's like, have faith in yourself to discern for yourself and just listen to the teachings. That was like the most important message I could share with you today here. They are currently on a UK or a living room tour of the world, a mini tour, and they're in the UK right now. And I just saw them last weekend, and it was pretty phenomenal. And they're doing a few more dates in the UK, which I'm going to go and see. And at that tour, there was 50 people showed up. They were near Derby in Swadlincote, like 20 minutes from here. And I got to meet some of you people who had discovered divine truth through my sharing of divine truth. And there's times I talked about it on my old podcast we had on here, Rediscover Human, with Josh. When I talked about it, I'd been on other people's podcasts and talked about it, and people had come to it through that. People had come to it through... I commented on Baba Wanyama's video one time. I just put a comment about Jesus potentially being back on earth and teaching divine truth, and someone had met Tim, shout out Tim, another Tim, got into it through that. There's Instagram stories I'd put it on, and people had got into it through that. And I've met people with all those stories this weekend. And I don't know, there's something in me that gets a little buzz from that as well, of like finding people who got into it through me, for sure. But ultimately there is like a deeper knowing that and feeling in those people that there is a real desire for the highest truth on earth, and that they want to grow and want to change, and a certain humility in those people. That's so wonderful to see. So it was great to meet you if you're one of them, or if you're one of them on the internet maybe I've not met yet, that have discovered it through me. But it really, I want to make it about me. I can feel that. But it's not about me. It's about each of your journeys on life throughout all the mire and confusion on earth today, and this being potentially the most important thing you could take time to go and listen to with an open heart. And so because of that, yeah, that's what matters the most, is like what it could do for you and for the world, because the world really needs it right now. It's a very, very strange time, and the world is headed in potentially a very dark direction. It is headed in a dark direction, and it could just get worse. And I'm contributing to that, and I'm trying to study this stuff. Is helping me to see my own role in that, and it could help all of us do that too. And so that is why I'm sort of the future of this channel, which has gone through many cycles of parkour, veganism, kind of spirituality and veganism. And I've let it kind of sit for a while. And I've started, my second channel became Tim's Gym, which is all fitness and the movement stuff, which is going to continue to promote that stuff, because I feel like there is a organic nature and passion around that stuff, which I can share there. But this channel, and I may experiment with some names, is going to be more focused on spreading that message, because it is so important. And as I mentioned, I believe it's the most important rabbit hole for humanity right now. So just letting you know, the future of the channel is going to be sharing a lot of that content. If you're interested, I'll leave a link down below to where to start with the current content that they've shared. If you're not happy about that, you want to unsub, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, letting you know, I'm still here. I'm still chipping away. I'm still down rabbit holes, but just one main rabbit hole right now. And I wanted to let you know that. So that's a message from me. God bless to you all. Peace out.